A very warm welcome to meeting number 120, Personal Growth Leaders. Thank you all very much for giving your valuable time today and sharing your valuable insights in terms of whatever contributions we are going to make today in this meeting. Without further ado, I would like to hand over our virtual gavel to the Toastmaster of this meeting, Tristan Sacon. Huge round of applause to Tristan.
Good day to you, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you for being here today, and we will get started. Sabria, would you like to present our word of the day? Maybe Sabria is.
It's Christian. Mario is grammarian. Mario is a grammarian.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. We went over this. I apologize. Thank you, Sabria. Mario, would you like to present today's word of the day?
Don't we already have one escapade?
Yep, that's correct. It would just be nice for those who don't know the definition of escapade that we have that and it can be posted in the chat. So if someone can do that, that would be appreciated. So as Mario stated, today's word of the day is escapade. Excellent. And it is now posted in the chat. And for those who may not be able to easily see the chat, we can go over what the word means. Mario, I don't want to steal the sunshine. Would you like to read it?
Yeah, I have to unmute myself. Escapade, a noun, means an act of an incident involving excitement, daring, or adventure. If to use it in a sentence, he told of their escapade with a borrowed truck.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mario. I greatly appreciate it. So please try to use today's word escapade as you speak. Fantastic. And without further ado, we will go into our speakers. We have our first speaker as Somesh. He will be presenting from Engaging Humor, Inspire Your Audience. And Somesh, how long is your speech today?
We standard 5 to 7 minutes or so.
Yeah. Excellent, thank you. Somesh's speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and please help me welcome Somesh with friendly.
Hello, Toastmasters, and welcome guests to our club, Mario. Just a question to start off. How many of you think the universe is friendly? Okay, it looks like majority of people are thinking that universe is friendly. And I wanted to start this speech with a quote from Einstein. What Einstein said was, the most important decision you'll make in your life is whether the universe is friendly. And why is that? Because on a day-to-day basis, we are interacting with each and every person and everything else in where? In our universe. So if someone thinks that universe is not my friend, what is going to happen to such a person? Unfortunately, they will be in negative vibration. And then they won't be able to work with other people. Because every time they are working with another person, they are always worrying whether this person is going to be helpful to me or not. And this brings to the topic, which is very important in terms of developing friendly relationship with everyone else whom we come in contact with. And what is the most important aspect, do you think, if we want to develop friendly relationships with others? Anyone would like to say what would be the most important aspect for developing friendly relationships? You can unmute and say.
Trust.
Absolutely, Mario. Thank you so much. So that is what is the most important aspect for developing friendly relationships. Trust. It is the bedrock of all the interactions that we have with other people. If I'm walking in a street and someone comes to me and the person says that I want money, do you think I will just give the person the money? Anyone, please unmute and answer.
No.
Absolutely. And what is the reason I will not give that person money?
Because
Because
he's
I don't know the
stranger.
person, right? This is a person who has come in the street and he's just asking money from me. I don't know the person. I might actually look at the person and basing on the appearance of the person, I might actually try to make some judgment about the person. But then there is this nice saying, which is a little bit cliched as well, that you cannot judge a book by its cover, isn't it? So person might look quite in a very bad state, but we really don't know what is going on internally. That everyone is going through their own battles in life. So this is what is the most important thing to understand, that we have to look at the universe as a friend. Think about a person who has gone through lots and lots of difficulties in their life. Say someone has gone through a trauma of being mistreated as a child. For example, child abuse, or the worst things that unfortunately happen for some people. Would they think universe as a friend? No, they would not. Because why? Because their experiences were not conducive for them to think that the universe is their friend. So all our, whatever interactions we are having, it's based on what experiences we had in the past. So if a person who is in that state of mind is going to a team, the team is not going to be a high-performing team, because the bedrock of a high-performing team is trust. And I recently heard about a person in US military. So he has come out of military, and he was saying that in US military, they understand the people on the basis of 4 animals: lion, fox, cheetah, and bear. Right? So lion category person is a great organizer. Fox is good at creative ideas. Cheetah is a person who is good at taking actions. And bear is a person who is good at building relationships. So what this military person was saying was, in US military, they try and understand what kind of people's proclivities are. And he was giving an example of how they understand while taking the interview. They would ask about a person going for an escapade, for example. Where would you like to go for an escapade? And if a person is a lion, that person would answer in such a way that I'm thinking about Fiji, I'm thinking about Mauritius, I'm thinking about Maldives. And then he'll try to organize. A person who is a cheetah would just say that I want to go to Fiji tomorrow. So basing on their answers, a person who is a bear type would say that if my sibling or if my partner is going, I'll go to that place. So everyone has got their own proclivities. So in order for us to have a high performance team, we should have people, all these type of people, these 4 categories of people. And what should they have in common? They should have the bedrock of trust. And what is there before trust? Going back to Einstein's quote, the most important decision you'll make in your life is whether the universe is friendly. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Well done, Somesh. Thank you so much for your inspiring speech and leaving us with truly many words of wisdom. We appreciate it. Please help me welcome Teresa, who will be our second speaker today, speaking for 5 to 7 minutes. For 5 to 7 minutes from team collaboration, writing a speech with purpose. Teresa, what's next?
In 2012 Pulitzer Prize winner and author of Wear Sunscreen, a primer for real life, Maria Schmidt said,
You're muted.
do one thing every day that scares you. Are you in the practice of doing something that scares you? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. When was the last time you went on a wild and exciting escapade? Was it when you went to your first Toastmaster Club? How about coming for the first time to Professional Growth Leaders Toastmaster Club? Was it a scary event for you? If you have a pencil and paper handy, I'd like you to jot down the 1 to 5. If you don't, no problem. Just work on it in your head. 1 or 2 answers to the questions that I'm going to pose. Now, the first question I'm going to ask is, what drew you to Professional Growth Leaders? Was it a friend? Was it something you saw online? Or was it from the Toastmaster International website? What drew you to Professional Growth Leaders Toastmaster Club? Now, if you're a member of our club, why do you stay? Are you getting what you wanted when you first joined? Why do you stay? My third question is, how does Professional Growth Leaders fit into your 2023-24 life and career? Is it an optimal fit? Is it a suitable fit? And let's look, question number 4. Have you already started mapping out your Professional Growth Leaders success plan for 2023-24? Looking back on questions 1 to 4, can you articulate in 1 or 2 sentences your Professional Growth Leaders' reasons for being here and what's next? It is so important that you as a member are successful. If you are a member, as a member, are successful, then our club will be successful. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your commitment to yourself? How do you see yourself moving forward? And on that scale of 1 to 10, what's your commitment to the club? If you were to take a backward glance over the past year, how would you rate your performance as a speaker? That means, did you speak? How about evaluator? Did you offer the other members in our club your expertise? What about Toastmaster? How about your personal projects? What about your attendance? You make our club successful. Now, if we look forward, what's going on in your life for the next year? Do you plan weekly? Do you plan monthly? Are you a 3-month or 6-month or a year planner? Yes, planning is important. Scheduling what you want to happen is important. Writing your goals for what you want to happen is important. However, as successful authors, Jason Fried and David Hansen said, it's what you do. It's not what you think or you say you're going to do or you plan to do. It's actually what you do. So what is next for you as a professional growth leader Toastmaster? What is next for you in making sure that you are getting what you want from this club? And at the same time, because you get what you want, the club gets what it needs. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Teresa. Excellent speech, and thank you for guiding us through a discussion for us to remember what is important to us, particularly when it comes to our Toastmaster journey. We will now move forward with table topics, and I have the privilege to serve as your table topics master today, so we will go right into it. Today's word is escapade. Today's word is escapade, and as we think about our impromptu speaking skills, please share with us an escapade that you have been on and weave it into your response today. So without further ado, Sanjeev, would you like to kick us off? And if so, Sanjeev, please pick a number 1 through 20.
Sorry, can you please come again?
Yes, can you choose a number between 1 and 20?
Yeah, it's 5.
Excellent, okay. Okay, complete this statement. One of the things I miss or enjoyed about my childhood was?
I enjoyed having a pet in my house. When I was in my school, I used to keep a rabbit in my house. So it was slowly it grown into from 1 to 7, and I was very happy to see those rabbits, and I used to collect grass and all kind of food material, leafy materials from outside and feed them. So that was the most rememberable part of my childhood when I was having rabbits. But what happened after a year when I left that place? I mean, I was in my village area, and then I moved to the city area where my father was transferred. So at the time, I had to leave those rabbits there in the village, and then few of the rabbits I gave it to other relatives and family members, but uh, few was there in the house, and slowly I came to know that uh, they were just killed by cats and all those kind of wild animals when nobody took care of those rabbits. So that was very sad for me. But yes, I really enjoyed my childhood, and I never forget those days when I was having a pet rabbit in my house. Back to the table topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev. Oh, yes, rabbits they're wonderful creatures and amazing pets. Thank you so much for sharing with us. John, for you, can you please pick a number 1 through 20?
I can't see now. I'm going to come to them. What's the hand gone up for, Fatima? 7, please.
Excellent. What's an important goal you'd like to accomplish in the next year?
Thank you very much for that question. In the next year, what do I want to I think what we started now, me and Fatima, we started to write a book. So I think we should try and finish the book at least before the year, but we're looking at a little bit under that. The book's on to do with management, and it's all on soft skills. The amount of soft skills out there, because a lot of companies now are not looking at degrees anymore, because there's so many people that have got degrees and they got this, that, and the other, and they're looking for these soft skills, how people will not fit into their companies, but to actually enhance their company's culture. So this is what they're looking at, a lot of the companies at the moment. So we're going to write a book on that exact item, soft skills. There's quite a number of soft skills, so it'd be quite, I wouldn't say a thick book, but it'd be a reasonably sized book that we're going to put together in the coming 6 to 1 year. So it should be out this time next year. And we're going through MAPS. Has everybody heard of MAPS? It's the Malaysian Association of Professional Speakers, and they do have a book writing course there, which they're starting in November. So we should be, as members, we can actually do it free, and we will be participating 6 months on that course starting in November, and they take you all the way through to the end. So it makes it a lot easier to actually write a book. It's like MAPS convention was last week that we attended, and there was 14 people that had written books that were showcasing their books at that. I mean, Fatima sold 36 books at that convention, around that convention. So she's got a few books here that we've got to now send out to the Maldives, because people in the Maldives want her book as well. So it's she's getting a name for being, hers was a 100 habits. You know what I mean? So she's people are asking her about habits all the time now. But that's what we're looking forward to, is to get our book out by this time next year, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, back to you.
Well done, John. Thank you so much for sharing, and it's exciting to hear your ambitious goal. Of course, we are all supporting you guys. Hooray. All right. Sabria, would you like the next question?
Yep. Okay, I'll do it.
Excellent. Okay. Can you please pick a number 1 through 20?
Wow. Let's say 20.
Excellent. Can you tell us about one event you will never forget?
Okay. One event that I can never forget in my 60 years of my life. Okay. Okay, yeah, how about okay. How about meeting my husband and getting married to him at the age of 40 years old? Okay, and this happened to be my second marriage. We're both in sports, and we met at the Commonwealth Games of Kuala Lumpur. We were both officials of the games, and we were helping Malaysia in a weightlifting championship of the Commonwealth Games. So we both were secretaries I was the Commonwealth announcer, and he was the secretary of the whole weightlifting championship. We were working together closely. We were aiming for the same thing, for the excellence of the games, and we fell in love. And we were the legacy of the game because we got married after about 3 years after that. And we've been in this marriage for 23 years. And now that I'm sick and not well, and he's there all along to support me. He's there to take care of me, and he's helping me to recover now. And I think that's the best things that happened to me in my life. And I think everybody should appreciate the persons that you have with you right now, and to tell them that you love them, to tell them that you appreciate them so much. So back to you, Tabletop Master Tricia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sabria. And we are certainly so happy you're here with us today and in better health. That's for sure. And I'm so glad you have your husband as such a supportive, wonderful person. Thank you. Kaushal, can you please choose a number 1 through 20?
Has 12 been taken yet?
Nope.
All
Excellent.
right.
Thank you. Good choice. Share with us one of your most favorite vacations.
I've been lucky to have a good number of escapades. Even though I don't particularly like travel, I find travel to be a hassle, but I've been lucky to have gone on a number of journeys. I think the one that is a highlight for me is when I was studying abroad in Argentina during college. I was staying with the host family in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And during the last week of my study abroad, I went on a vacation to various neighboring countries, Uruguay, Paraguay, Brazil. I saw so much. It was quite an adventure seeing how different each of these countries was. I got to meet other people from all over the world who were also on this journey with me. People from Spain and Australia, and I got to go on a nice little cruise down a system of rivers called the Tigray. It was, I got, and at the age of, I think I was just 19 or 20 at the time, it helped me get a better sense of independence going on this little vacation while I was on a study abroad. So I would say of all the vacations I've had, that was the most meaningful and rewarding. Madam Topic Master.
Excellent. Thank you, Kaushal. Thanks for sharing some escapades with us. Definitely provides inspiration for many, many travel plans. Thank you. Rosie, would you like to take the next question? Excellent. May I ask you to choose a number between 1 and 20?
Right, how about 1? Has it been taken?
It has not. Excellent.
Ah,
What is your favorite time of day? And is there anything during your favorite time of the day that you do regularly to help relax?
Thank you, Kristen. Well, my favorite time of the day or things that to get me relaxed is actually early in the morning, because my mentor used to say that we have to start the morning right, because when we start the morning right, then everything will start to go in places. And we have morning routine, and I really love my morning routine. I wake up very early and I do something to relax, which is said in the question. It's like praying, and sometimes I will do yoga as well. And for me, as if my routine will be praying early in the morning, and then I read some of the books, and then religious book, and then also some of other books as well. And I love books, The Artist's Way by, I think, Julie Cameron. I like that book because that's also, so the routine, I have my morning routine, and that morning routine is really great because it set pace for that day. And by following the morning routine, that morning, it will pace out a very good day for me. And to relax, I love to pray, and then I also love to do some yoga sometimes just to get the body moving. And of course, I love my morning walk as well. And twice a week at least, I will go for my tennis. At least. Thank you. Back to you, Tristan.
Thank you so much, Rosie. It sounds like you have just relaxation intertwined throughout your day, and that's really nice, participating in tennis and yoga and begin your day quietly. That's wonderful. Thank you, Rosie. And Fatima, may I ask you to choose a number 1 through 20?
Hard timing. 1 to 5. 5.
5 is taken.
4.
Excellent. Tell us something you've done recently that you are proud of.
Huh? Come again? Something?
Tell
You're
us
muted.
something. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tell us something you've done recently that you are proud of.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. Something I'm proud of. Wow. I just published my book, and it's such an amazing feeling to be finally fulfilling my dream of becoming an author and holding my book. Can I have a book and say I'm an author? For those who may not know, here's my book. I don't know whether you can see. Let me just, here's my book. For those who may not know me, I hope you're timing. You're doing 2 jobs. I used to write for local paper, weekly articles, and also I was the editor of one of the NGOs that I founded. So writing has been in my blood. And also I took part in a competition, short story writing competition. And guess what? My story at that time was long before I met John. It's called Foreigner in the Maldives. And I won second. And I think from the beginning as a child, that was a dream that was inside my heart, a passion that I could do until at this age, finally holding my book. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to develop authority on your subject, whether you're a trainer, writer, or coach or anything, I would suggest to write a book, because you carry authority, you carry credibility on anything you do. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm so proud that I'm selling my book, and it has become something I really enjoy. And I'm already working on my second book. Go ahead. Anybody in this room, you can do it. And once again, here's my book. Thank you. Over to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you for serving as an inspiration for all of us. A huge congratulations for publishing your book and moving forward with it. Hooray.
Good,
Somesh, I turn the floor over to you. Can you choose a number 1 through 20?
8.
Excellent. Number 8, tell us about a memorable experience.
Thank you very much, Madam Topics Master and Toastmaster. Memorable experience. Probably when I first came to Ireland, that might be an interesting one. That was in September 2000. So I'd given an interview for this company, which I'm still working in. Past, and no, this is the 23rd year now. I never thought that I'll be this company for so long, but here I am. So yes, so that probably is because I had not actually, I actually believe in these things about subconscious impressions that we keep, and then that actually brings us into that physical reality. Like I was hearing Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's a great person in terms of the understanding of how our thoughts can actually bring things into motion and make that into reality. So he talks about the electromagnetic field of the earth, and he says that the thoughts are like the electrical field and the feelings are like the magnetic field. So if you have the thought and feeling of wanting something, that means in the quantum field, which is always the now, it is always the present, we have that already. It's a matter of getting into that thought and feeling that you already have it. And somehow or other, I think unknowingly, I've probably done that. And that's the reason something that I never thought would be possible actually became possible. And here I am after 23 years, and I'm still like in a state of virtual reality. Over to you, Madam Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Somesh. That's awesome. I love the comparison and how they run parallel tracks, the magnetic and electric fields, and comparing that to ourselves. Thank you. And Teresa, to wrap us up, I have a question for you. Please choose a number 1 through 20.
11.
Excellent. Who and or what contributes to your happiness?
Madam Table Topics, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Who contributes to my happiness? Well, number one, of course, myself. I have to feel happy with myself before I can let anyone else in. And of course, my grandchildren and my children bring me such joy. They just move with, every move is an escapade when they are around, and I enjoy having them with me all of the time. And I would say the third group is my Toastmaster friends, not only in one club, but around the world, because they have helped me to move forward on my goals and keep me focused on what I truly want to do. So if I was to say who, I'd have to start, as I said, with myself, because if I don't take the chance of feeling good, then I can't let anyone else in. And then I would go to my grandchildren and my children who have over the years given me such wonderful, wonderful escapades. And thirdly, my Toastmaster friends, because they have enlightened me and moved me forward. And I feel very young when I come to Toastmasters, and I still have so much more to accomplish. Thank you very much, Madam Table Topics.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Teresa. And Thank goodness for grandbabies and family members and all of the things that contribute to our happiness. This concludes our time for table topics. And as Toastmaster, I will pass the lectern over to Kaushal to serve as general evaluator.
Thank you very much, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. As general evaluator, the first thing I will do is introduce our speech evaluators. Evaluating our first speaker, who was Somesh, is Rusiana. Rusiana?
Thank you. The general evaluation, general evaluator. I love it, distinguished Toastmaster Somesh, that you started by getting us audience involved and escapade with your speech by posting some questions, and then you injecting some of the quotes by a quote by Einstein, and then you link that quote with some of the example, and then you get us questioning more about the energy, and then you and most aspect of relationship, which is about trust, which answered by Mario just now. And then you give an analogy about the people on the street and how the trust is not there. And then you give an analogy about an abusive child and how then you link up how do we treat out the universe, and that's some value into that. So if we look at the universe as negative, then it will turn out like that. And on the other way, positive, then it will be positive. My suggestion, perhaps the title, because the value of the speech is, I think it's a great value. And then if you have a very catchy title, it make it enhance and give it a better perspective to us as well. And I also love it that you meet the speech objective of inspiring. And I think this is an engaging humor pathways, and you give some humor as well by relating it to the 4 type of animals. And then you have like lion going to Maldives, and then cheetah going to Fiji, things like that. And then you linked it up to the performance of human performance. So overall, I love your speech as you relate your speech to us, human. We have the common ground there, and you got us thinking if that we will trust the universe and have a good experience, all good things will come to us and vice versa. And you give example of how an abusive child looks at the universe as abusive and negative as well. And then you then finish the speech by reinstated back the quotes by Einstein to enhance it and wrap it up and enhance the message. That values in your speech was a great escapade for us, and thank you. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Rosie. That was a very detailed evaluation. You really did a good job of showing why Somesh's speech was effective. I would now like to ask our next evaluator, John Khalid, to please provide his evaluation of Teresa's speech.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. So, Teresa, what's next? And deliver an effective, well-defined speech on a narrow enough topic. That's what I've got from your presentation at the beginning. So, did you deliver an effective, well-defined speech? I believe you did. And was it a narrow enough topic? The topic was, of course, PG, our own club. So it was quite narrow to a certain degree. So we had a delivery of a number of questions. And I noticed you did pause on the questions at the end for people to think. I thought that was well done there, that little pause that you had. Then you went on to a scale of 1 to 10 and give us some more the commitment to yourself, the performance, speaker evaluation, and attendance. So you were audience was the members of the club. So it was well defined towards the members of the club. So I could see that straight away. So that was very well done for that. Now, I'm going to go on a few things. Dialogue. Particularly inner dialogue. I would have liked to have seen you when you were asking these questions to actually do an inner dialogue of what you were thinking about it yourself. And when I say that is, why do you stay? And you could have gone, why do I stay? And I think the reason I stay, and then you could give us a little dialogue there of why you stay. And I think that would have opened it up a little bit more there and brought some more dialogue in it. Because when you go, why do I stay? It emphasizes it more to the people there in your audience, because you're then giving your opinion of why you stay. And that would have been good for everybody to think about that as well. Of course, the obvious, the presentation, that never happened, unfortunately. It was there on the screen and it had a little slide. This presentation has live video. I think if you'd have clicked that, it may have actually made the actual slides move, but because that was on the screen, a little box on the screen, it actually stopped it from moving. And I don't think you saw that. You was well into your speech. I think somebody put it into the chat box, messaging back to read the slides. But you carried on anyway. In future, if that happens, the best thing to do is to cut the slides out and just speak, so that you're on, because I had you on, I pinned you so I could see you. So I had your slides next to you. So well done. Some 5 good questions, a scale of 1 to 10 that you gave us. Then you ended on a quote, is what it's what we do. Just look out for your slides and put some inner dialogue into that so that we can make us think more. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, John. I really liked your innovative suggestion of introducing some inner dialogue into the speech. Some inner dialogue to help make those questions more meaningful. What I would now like to do is ask our timer, Fatima, to please provide her timing report.
Thank you so much, our GE. Let me give my timing special report. We started the meeting on time, well done, our members, and at the reminder from that time, of course, we started. Somesh, the first speaker, 7 minutes and 2 seconds, and the second speaker, that is 6 minutes and 35 seconds. You had 1 minute to go. And the table topics, speaker Sanjip, 1 minute and 37 seconds. John, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Sabaria, 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Kaushal, our G, 1 minute, 50 seconds. Rosie, 1 minute and 38 seconds. Fatima, that famous lady, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Somesh, 2 minutes on the dot. That is again 1 minute and 54 seconds. As for the last section, the evaluators, Rosie, 3 minutes on the dot. And John Kali, this guy always over 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Thank you. Thank you.
What's 5 seconds?
Never give a speech at a Toastmasters meeting when your wife is going to be the timer, right? Thank you, Fatima, for giving us that accurate and enthusiastic timing report. I would now like to ask our grammarian, Mario, to please provide his report.
Give me a couple of seconds to join from my PC. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hi, everyone. Your guest grammarian Mario here. So I went into real detail, but because I saw my time, I only have 1 to 2 minutes to give the report. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Now I noticed you guys don't have a account, or you merged them into one, I assume. So I was only keeping track of grammar itself and not the ahs and ums. I'm going to start off with the word of the day. Teresa used it once. Somesh, first speakers, used it twice. We had Tristan, Table Topics Master, aka Toastmaster, 3 times. And then we had Kaushal once, Teresa once, and Louisiana twice, the words of the day. Now, overall, I have to say that a lot of repetition works in some cases, like wonderful, wonderful, or so. You can substitute that with other transitional words. Like, for example, a lot of you guys start the sentences with so, Teresa, so, Louisiana. Omit the so, just get right to the point, use the Teresa and continue with the speaking. Now I'm providing this, I'm sharing this so it's on camera for those who are, you guys are seeing this, right? Let me just double check.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm providing this for feedback for later. So because you have it recorded, so I'm just providing this. Yeah, I went into real detail. Overall, maybe pronunciation wise, vice versa. I could have an entire 4 or 5 minute speech about this, so let me just summarize. Grammar wise, only the non-native speakers really struggled a tiny bit. I really liked Teresa's speech. She really gave me food for thought for maybe because I'll be running for VP for next year, and I'm gonna have to have a speech or two to motivate our members to have a little bit more speeches, and this really makes them think. So I really like that. I loved her. Tristan used the word intertwined. I love how after every table topic speech you said excellent, except for the last one where you mentioned wonderful. So I like how you appreciate the speakers. That's something I need to keep track of more. Sanjeev used slowly. You can use the substitute words gradually or incrementally. Okay, what we started, Fatima and I, we started. We can just use this once. What Fatima and I started to avoid the repetition. I was second table topic speaker, third one in my 60 years of my life, in the 60 years of my life, or in 60 years without the. I'm sick and not well. You use the redundant form. You can just say I'm not doing well or I'm feeling sick. That's a good one. I think everybody, that was repeated twice. I think everybody pause, continue the sentence, because when we are searching for words, we tend to repeat things or use filler words. My routine would be really in the morning. Use it 3 times because again, looking for words. My routine would be early in the morning or something along those lines. They're so. They're either mediocre or not satisfying or any other. Some of other books as well. Some of the other books. I'd given an interview. I'd given an interview. You forgot the indefinite pronoun. Unknowingly, you could substitute that with unbeknownst. Yeah, Louisiana, the first evaluator used, and then 4 times to connect between, to transition between sentences, use instead of and then, however, furthermore, moreover, to kind of spice it up a bit, to mix it up. If you have a very catchy title, you say with a catchy title, with an attractive title, because if you have a very catchy, sounds like you're not sure. Lion, cheetah going to countries. I meant to write lion, cheetah, a lion and a cheetah going to the countries you had mentioned. So overall, so was here used as a redundant form, and that's all for me. Back to you, G.
All right. Thank you, Mario. That was such a detailed grammarian report. Hats off to you. You were really paying attention. And you gave us a lot of detailed feedback. I appreciate that. I would now like to give my overall evaluation of the meeting. As our timer mentioned, we did start on time. We had a nice word of the day escapade, and I'm so glad that we could have Mario as a guest, and as not only as a guest, but to serve as our grammarian. Mario may not have known this, but we actually had used the word escapade in a recent meeting as our word of the day. So, but that's okay. It's a great word. No problem using it again. One thing, though, is that the agenda showed that our theme was outdoor activities. So when I saw that agenda yesterday, I was excited. So I was thinking, oh, we're going to talk a little bit about the great outdoors, but I don't think this was mentioned. I even thought about going outside and participating in the meeting that way, though I don't know if my internet connection would have been strong enough for me to do that. I also don't think Mario was introduced as our guest. I think we usually introduce guests. Let's see. We had good speeches by Sumesh and Teresa, great table topics. But I don't think Mario had a chance to participate in the table topics. Just about everybody else did. And I think that's about it. And even though we didn't have an official counter designated, I'm glad Mario did incorporate a tally of ahs and ums in his grammarian report. Very good meeting. And I hope to see Mario again at future meetings. I would like to turn the meeting back over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Kaushal, for serving as general evaluator. And I would like to publicly apologize. Mario, I did not introduce you. And secondly, I completely skipped over you for table topics. Please know neither were intentional, and we're so happy to have you as our guest. It's very early in my time, and I clearly was not awake. So please excuse that mistake. But without further ado, Mario, at least at this point in time, and certainly we hope you join again as our guest, but can you please provide us feedback as what you enjoyed about the meeting?
First of all, I'm grateful I didn't go for table topics because I was knee deep in grammar, and I would have crank it up a notch with keeping up with filler words. Had I known you've merged both into one, I would have even renamed myself Amerian, as some clubs have it, which is a good pun on words. I just realized I have to look at the camera. Yeah, my overall take is, Tristan, you have a very soft voice, and I really like that. And you really kind of ease people into it, and you kind of summarize what was said after each table topic. And having prepared 20 questions means, yeah, you had lined up speeches. You know, if you repeat the same topic in a couple of months, you can just burn through the rest of the questions. Nobody's gonna remember anyway. So that's a good one, because like you've prepared 4 months in ahead in a way, if you guys decide to repeat the topic. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I saw District 71, Ireland. I saw you guys an easy speak, a couple of Indian Middle Eastern names. I was like, how does this thing go together? So I'm going to have a lot of Ireland talking Irish Indians with Irish accent. I don't know how that would have worked out together. And here's some Native Americans with a combo with some Arabic Indian. I was like, okay, this is anything but Irish. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, thank you for not having them for table topics. To introduce myself, might as well use the opportunity now. I'm a dual member in Slovenia, in Central Europe, and in one club. The other club is in California in Founders District. I've helped out with a lot of contests in the past few months, 20 plus contests, and visited a lot of clubs. And in the meantime, joined a couple of WhatsApp groups recently, like a week ago. So that's how I met you guys in a WhatsApp group. Because Teresa mentioned, how did you guys meet? Facebook, Instagram, none of those. Friend, kind of through WhatsApp, yeah, but definitely would have thumped in a WhatsApp group, would have led me to you guys. That's all from me. Back to you, TM of the day.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mario. Again, we really appreciate you joining us today, and we hope to see you back in the future. Moving forward, I certainly want to make sure we are respectful of your time. I know my clock shows we are ending our meeting now. I'd like to go over available roles for next meeting, and I posted them in the chat, but virtually beyond our first speaker, we have roles available. We have